Hey guys, this is James with 3D CAD Works. Today we're super excited to show you our new product. We're releasing our Gen 2 2.5 Montero and Pajero AC mount solution. As you guys know, a lot of our AC mounts are getting older. These fins are all breaking because they're brittle, or maybe a radar detector falls and it just shatters them like it did for mine. But for whatever reason, these are failing, and it's impossible to find these. And if you do find them, most of you guys already know that the only way to replace these per the actual service procedure is to remove your entire dashboard from your vehicle. If you've ever had the pleasure of removing your dashboard in a Montero, you already know that you would rather rebuild an engine or transmission than actually remove a dashboard. A lot of times it puts you in weird, compromising positions. It's painful, and when you put things back together, there's a high likelihood that things are going to rattle or you're going to break something. So we decided to try to do something about it for the people that want to replace their vent but do not want to take out their dashboard. With that being said, almost every product we sell is designed and engineered in such a way that does not make permanent modifications to the vehicle and is reversible. However, this product is not one of those. In order to install this product, you will have to make permanent changes to the vehicle. So if you are one of those persons that, or one of those people that have to take your dash out anyway because maybe you have to replace your heater core or maybe you have to replace your blend door, then maybe this product is not for you. But if you simply want to replace your vents and you don't want to take out your dash, this is the only solution that I'm aware of. I wish I had my old vents here to show you what they used to look like in the procedure of taking the old one out, but I don't. I initially did the proof of concept for this 3 or 4 months ago, and I failed to record some of that because I was figuring it out on the fly. So I apologize for that. But I do have a lot of pictures from our beta tester, who was kind enough to send me those pictures, and we're gonna provide you guys with a document with step-by-step instructions and pictures. This video is going to serve more as a summary of what needs to be done, not necessarily a step-by-step instructional video. So that being said, let's go ahead and get started. So just imagine this is your old vents that's all broken and tattered and everything, and you have your clock in here. So the first thing we got to do is get this clock out. This clock is not secured with bolts or screws or anything of that nature. It is simply a snap fit system. So all you have to do is put some Gorilla tape or duct tape on here. Give yourself about 6 or 8 inches. Put some slack in that tape and just yank it out real quickly, and this entire clock will pull out. It's only attached by these tabs right here. So this is the same procedure we use for our phone mount system, so there's no danger here. Once your clock is out, we can go ahead and start the procedure of installing the new vent. This is not a difficult procedure. We rated this about a 4 out of 10 difficulty. It takes about 2 hours of your time. An hour and a half of that is removing the old one, and about 30 minutes or less is installing the new one. I say hour and a half to remove the old one, not because it's difficult, but because it's tedious. And what I mean by that is the only way to get the old one out is to break it out, unless you want to take your dash out, which the whole point is not to take your dash out. So you have to break it out. So you'll take some pliers and you'll break these fins. And so let me show you what you're going to break. You're going to break the fins. You're going to break this wall, this wall, this wall, this wall, this wall. I will provide you a picture in the video for that. But when you break these pieces, the reason why I say it's tedious is because what you don't want to happen is you don't want these pieces to fall back behind the dash. Not because it's going to cause mechanical or electrical malfunction, mostly because you don't want these pieces of plastic falling back there and rattling while you're driving. It'll just annoy you. So that's the reason why we think it's going to take about an hour and a half to get this out as cleanly as you can. But so once you break the fins and these 1, 2, 3, 4, 5 walls, you're going to want to look down this way. Underneath the center of this vent, right about here, and underneath the center of this vent, right about here, there are some screws that come in from the back side. You can try a 90-degree screwdriver, or you might be able to get a stubby screwdriver in there. You want to take those 2 screws out right here. And then in the center, right about where my fingers are, on the back side, there are 2 plastic bosses or posts that stick down, and the vent has 2 screws that screw into that. I'll be honest with you, those can be really difficult to get to. Myself, I wasn't very concerned about those, so I just took some channel locks or a bigger pliers, and I literally just grabbed that boss and twisted it off. Again, it is a permanent modification. It's not reversible, so you are committing to this change. So once the two bosses out here are out, once these two screws are out, the fins, the walls are all out, you can see a lot more of what's going on, and your vent should be much looser. You might not still be able to pull it all the way out, and I'll show you why. There's no other screws holding, but the problem is these vents have, let me pull this out so you can see it. The vents have these lips right here on the top and on the bottom. See if I can get that in video right there. Right there's another lip on both sides. These lips correspond with grooves in the ducting in the rear. So these lips lock into those grooves, and they can be a little difficult to pull out. Our best advice is to do it while it's very hot outside. So if you can park your car in the sun with the windows up for a couple days prior to doing that, it's probably best, and it should just pull right out. My beta tester said he didn't have to add any heat or do anything, and they just pulled out real simple. Myself, I did this 3 or 4 months ago. It was not that hot out. I was learning as I went, so I couldn't just pull mine out. So what I had to do, and what I can suggest you can do, is if you have it in there and you just cannot get it to pull out, since you'll have all these fins out anyway, you can take a heat gun, direct some hot air onto those ducts in the back from the sides here and from directly through these holes. You want to get it nice and hot. Now, you know, typically when you use a heat gun, you don't hold it in one spot. You're going to move it around because you don't want to melt any wiring or any plastic. So that's the key. Keep moving your heat gun around. Get it nice and hot and toasty back there. Being careful. You can use a flashlight if you need to. Once you get it, what you believe is hot enough, try pulling it out. If your vents have fallen apart so much that you can't grab it with your hands and try to pull it out, that's fine. A lot of times the front fascia will come off and leave you with these vents itself. If that happens, you can just take your pliers, grab the front of the vent here, and just try to yank it out from the ducting in the back. But the goal here is to get this entire assembly out. Once you get it partially out, you do need to watch out for this cable. There's a cable that connects to this lever here to direct your airflow. This cable connects to this this post right here as such. Typically I just get some needle nose pliers and kind of just wiggle it off. Of course it won't be that easy, but you get the point. There's also a clip that goes into here. This clip needs to be squeezed. The best way to squeeze that clip is to get a flat blade screwdriver from the top side and squeeze that so you can get this clip out. But your goal is to get your dash to look like this, with nothing in here except for this wiring harness and that cable hanging down. And this is your opportunity to go ahead and clean this area, to get your shop vac, clean up this area real good. I wouldn't spray any like cleaner down there, but I would maybe vacuum it, get it nice and clean as best you can. You can also take a little white lithium grease and put it on these ducts in the back, especially in those grooves on the front lip. I would also recommend you put some white lithium grease on these lips here on the vents. So both of these lips on top and bottom. Again, you can use whatever grease you want. However, keep in mind that when you turn on your AC, you might smell that grease coming through there. So you don't want to use like engine grease that has a lot of smell to it. So to install the new one, it's very, very simple. We designed this to be super simple. We have a new mount system here. Hopefully you can see it on video. We have an actual mount back here with a hole in it. And that mount goes to a already existing location on your dash back here that's already has a hole drilled and it's already tapped. So you won't have to drill or tap yourself. We use a pre-existing location from the factory. This is the same location we use for our phone mount system. So to install it, you are going to push this in, and I want to show you these two levers here. These two levers operate the blend doors back here. They stick out a little further, so sometimes it's a little more difficult to go straight on, so I like to go at an angle, try to get it in there. And then because of that, oh, I'm sorry, I need to back up for just 1 second. You do need to reconnect your cable to your post here and put your clip back in. So you'll need to do that first. So once that happens, go ahead and install it. Again, I go at a little bit of an angle. And then you want to make sure your wire is not getting pinched or in the way, broken any kind of way. Helps to have small hands, you know, maybe if you have kids, they can help you. And then get it positioned so you're kind of ready to put it in. And at this point, you want to take a flashlight and you want to look to make sure that the vents are lined up with the ducts and they're starting to go in. And again, if it's nice and hot in here and those ducts are nice and hot, you should be able to easily press it in. If it's not nice and hot, you're going to want to heat it up with a heat gun. But once those ducts are compliant and flexible, then you're going to put your hands, you can on the sides here, or maybe on the top trim, bottom trim here. And your goal is to push straight towards the front of the car and try to do it. And I can't show you on camera because I haven't heated mine up yet. But that's what's going to happen. When you're going to push forward, they're going to snap into place. The new vent should sit nice and flush with your dash. And then all you have left to do is put in the bolt that we're going to provide you with the product. You'll grab your socket and your extension, and you will put that bolt through there and tighten it up. Now guys, we're only talking plastic here, so please don't torque this down to 100 foot-pounds of torque. It does not require that kind of strength to hold it in place. We're talking maybe hand tight, just a little bit, tiny bit past hand tight. We don't need to crack or break anything. You just want to keep it from vibrating or loosening over time. That is it. So once that is flush with your dash sitting correctly as it should, just like the OEM unit, I'll go ahead and turn on your AC or your vent. Make sure your fins are moving back and forth and up and down. Make sure everything's operating properly. Your levers here, make sure this one's moving back and forth properly. If that's the case, you're done for the most part. You just need to put your clock back in, and then you're just going to connect your clock to your harness. Again, this is just going to snap into place. So you'll get it in there and you'll just push it forward and it'll snap into place and you're done. Now, we didn't forget about our customers who purchased our phone mount system. So if you purchased the phone mount from us, this takes the place of your clock and it uses the same mounting location for our phone. So we have it compatible with the phone mount. When you go to purchase this vent, there'll be a drop down where you can select the standard version or the phone compatible version. So you want to select the phone compatible version if you already have this phone mount, or if you plan to buy the phone mount. So it'll work with both. And that is pretty much it. Again, we will have a full-blown document with pictures and installation instructions step by step. This is just a summary video to kind of show you the overall process. We're always available to help. We answer our emails and our chat messages after hours and on weekends, and anyone who's ever dealt with us can attest to that. So we're always here to help you. So with that being said, we hope you like the product. If you have any questions, get a hold of us. And thank you. Have a good day.